And it's another weekend doing a live podcast here on YouTube, or you could be listening on Spotify. And I got to ask a question for anyone listening, because I'm going to start off right away. Just comment something. We just want to know if someone's listening at the beginning. We've thrown things at the end, we've thrown things in the middle, but like right now, just I
Uh-huh.
always say comment like a topic, this and that. So if you're hearing this, please give us a comment. I just want to see a comment on Spotify. But in all seriousness, Soto, yeah, we just kind of do this
hmm
week by week, talk about our weeks, talk about whatever's going on in the world, and yeah, just kind of have a little fun for an hour or so, and just enjoy our day. This just meant to be fun. So, but yeah, this past week, and as you know, this past week, yesterday, I went to a Red Sox game. Um, Took my nephews to their first experience at Fenway Park. Got them the Fenway Franks, which one laughed. He looked at his dad and he's like, "These taste like just at home." And we're like, "Yeah, pretty much." But there's just something special about these eating them here. But Red Sox won 2-1.
They did.
It was
Yeah, they
a
did.
great set. It was a good thing. But I always ask this, and this goes with any sport, really, because when you see something live, it's a total different experience than when you're watching it on TV. And I think it's
Oh
so
yeah, of
much more
course.
enjoyable. It is more enjoyable. I don't get me wrong. I like the comfort of my own home, and go to the bathroom
hmm
easily, so do not get me wrong. I like it, but there is something about that environment and everything like that. But so I got to ask you, and I've asked this in different ways, but now let's just say you're at a live
Yeah.
game. You can pick the Red Sox, you can pick the Pats, just pick who you know. We'll stick with Red Sox because that's kind of the theme. And yeah, they won two to
Sure.
one. Very,
hmm
close. Came in down the last few innings. The first five innings were I don't want to say boring, just very defensive. But would you rather see your team win a close game like that, or would you rather just see a blowout? Like if the Red Sox won like 11-2. Like if you're there live and they were just scoring like crazy, but it was 11-2. It was never really close. Which, as a fan of the team, I'm not just talking about a game, but like you're seeing the Red Sox. Which would you prefer to see? If live, not
I
on TV,
mean, I
live.
think it's pretty easy, but yeah, I mean, like, what else is better than like watching a close game with a walk-off? I don't think I've ever even seen that. Which I could not see this fucking game yesterday because I don't have Apple TV.
This was on Apple TV.
Okay.
Like this wasn't on. I don't even. I haven't really followed baseball in the
Yeah.
last couple
It
of
wasn't
years.
a fucking TV. Well, I mean, usually most games are on Nessun.
Yeah,
So I
correct.
wanted to watch this. Like, I pay fucking $100 a month for Fubo, just so I can watch baseball, essentially. And I had to follow this game really on my phone and just kind of wait for the highlights after, like on TikTok, because apparently this was like an Apple TV or MLB TV exclusive or some shit. I couldn't find it out anywhere, and I'm like, what the hell? But to answer your question, no doubt would I rather watch a close game that has a payoff like that. Um, especially given the magnitude and Roman Anthony's only 21 years old, and just kind of the atmosphere of like being inside of Fenway Park when there is a walk off in the ninth inning, and that kind of energy and that vibe. I think I'd much rather do that than see blowouts. I have seen blowouts, and they're fun, and it's really nice to just see home runs go and everything, and it's kind of like a relaxed atmosphere. But just to be there in a tight game and then just listen to the crowd just kind of explode when they walk off and stuff. Although the shutting off of the lights thing and flashing it, that's new. That's
Oh
never
my,
been
yeah.
like a Fenway thing. Did that throw you off?
So yes, obviously, because they first did it. They did it in the ninth and the 10th inning. Because this is the first game I've been to that
Mhm.
went to extra innings. I've never gone to an extra inning game because usually, it's ended in nine. And I think it was the
Yeah.
bottom of the ninth. And I forget what song was playing that time. I know it was Mr. Brightside for the 10th inning one. And then they turn it off and things are flashing. And even my friend Brian was like, "This feels like an NBA game." You know how they give.
Yeah.
Do not give me. I will say this, Soto. Now, I was like, do they do this every ninth, like every game at the ninth inning, or do they do this when it's like a close game? Again, I was just curious because I've not followed the Red Sox or any baseball
Mhm.
this season, so I'm like, if they do this every
Yeah.
ninth inning, whatever. But I'm like, this needs to be more of a because it was the bottom of the ninth, and I think it was 1-1 at that point. Yeah, because the Red Sox scored
Mhm.
bottom of the eighth, and I would like that's when you reserve this. But it was just like, what the? It was cool. I will admit, I don't know how it comes off on TV or your phone because I think you're watching on your phone. But when you're in there,
I've
like all
seen
of a
it on
sudden the
TV
lights go out, and even I was like, "What the fuck's?" And then they got the flashing and I forget again. They had the song playing. Everyone is singing it, um, and it was just
Dirty Water
insane.
probably after
No,
that
no,
one.
no, no, no. They had that for their usual spot this weekend. They had like they. I think they do different songs. It's just, um, actually, I think it might have been the Dropkick Murphy. Was it the We're Going to Boston? I don't know. But Dirty
Showing
Water
up to
came early, and
yeah.
then they did Mr. Brightside when they because they flashed lights again at the bottom of the 10th, and then that was the song that was playing. I was next to a few
Oh,
drunk guys, and they were singing, and I was
they
singing with them.
flash they flash lights when guys hit home runs at night. So if somebody hits a home run, those lights are turning on and off as the guy's like rounding the base.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, I'm sure they used it obviously for the walk off too. I know Sedan Rafaela, like a few weeks back, he had like a monster walk off home run. But they like anytime a guy hits a home run, like they just do that because I think the Yankees started doing that. I've seen it like in other like stadiums as well, but it's just one of those things to kind of just get the crowd hyped up and weird. But it's strange on TV. Sarah's always like, why the fuck are they adding this like turning the lights off thing all of a sudden? Like it's just super weird. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like the new like thing that they've done it within the last like I want to say a couple of years. It's like a new thing. And it's I don't know. It's just to get
I
people riled up, I
I think
guess.
it's that. I think it's also same reason they started the pitch count and the runner at second. It's to try and get the game
Mm,
going, be more exciting for the younger audience. Just something
mhm.
going, and that's the big thing, because there's going to come time like these kids are growing up. Are they going to grow up Major League Baseball fans, NFL fans? Because now, there's a time I kind of watched all four sport. NFL has always been number one to me. There's a time NBA was up there, NHL I was watching for, but you know what I mean, like, and we know Major League Baseball, and me and you were like, yeah, we were watching two games, but it kind of got boring. Games are getting long. And I say boring again. If you're there
Super long.
live, the atmosphere is just great. But I'm just saying overall, it's like they weren't changing much of the game. So I don't know. I feel like that again. Like my friend Brian said, it's like, yeah, this felt like they were at a Celtics game, and you hear, or like I'm thinking the Bulls, like the starting lineup and Michael Jordan coming out because it's like, dude.
Oh
I'm like,
my
what?
god,
Like
yeah.
that's what it felt like. But again, the energy of the crowd. Though we were all laughing. People I were with and the drunk, we were because off in the corner because we were in the bleachers. This one section was trying to start the wave, and it happens. Sporting events, so we love it or hate it, and we would just watch it go two or three sections and die. Like it was not
Yes.
going anywhere, and we were laughing, and so it somehow came the other way towards us. And all right, so we're participating. It never like we're like, what's the over under? How many attempts? Because I swear, Soto, they tried 20 times and never got around the stadium. Like people just fucked it up. And I think one time though, because it was getting close to like the bottom of the eighth when they were scoring. So I think what was happening superseded, a wave. But it was just it was
Yeah.
funny. And it was fun. It was definitely a great experience. I love going to a baseball game. It's been 8 years. I think the last game I went to was the Cubs Red Sox game the year after they won the World
Mm,
Series. So it's been a while
hmm.
since I've been to a game. But yeah, I live sporting events. There's nothing like it. I had my hot dog. Um, I was like, "Yep, I'm good." I had to have. It's like when I go to the theaters, movie theaters. I'm like, I gotta have popcorn. Like anytime I go to Fenway, I'm like, I gotta have a hot dog. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just having a Fenway Frank. Give me one. Yep, they're simple.
You
Don't
didn't do
care.
the 9 inning challenge.
What's the
Have you
nine
seen
inning
that?
challenge? No, what is that?
It's a hot dog and a beer every inning.
I was with my nephew, so I was not drinking beer last night. Um, And even if I wasn't, I guess because those are small. I'm talking because they're not like big cups. I would have to pregame a little bit, at least get some shit in my belly. Nine, I mean,
Yeah,
take away the beer. That's nine hot dogs. I could if I didn't have
9 hot
anything to.
dogs and 9 beers.
Because at
That's
the
good
hot.
pace.
No, correct. Well, a couple of those innings were going quick. It was like one pitch out, so we were like, damn. Because I think it was 4.5 innings in, so officially halfway through. We were going to the bottom of the
Yeah,
fifth, and we were only an hour. It was an hour. I looked at the time like, Brian, we've only been here an hour. We're halfway done. Obviously the pitch clock
that's
changed.
baseball now
Oh
though.
yeah,
That
that's what I'm
that
saying.
is
But it wasn't just
baseball.
that. It
Like that's
was,
how it goes.
but you see a lot of this game had a lot of just the first pitch. They would swing ground out, like one pitch outs, and like
Mhm.
not, you get, testing the pitcher, no, there's just, and both teams, like it was a very defensive battle. The snag, that the shortstop had for the Red Sox, in the 10th to get the guy at home was just that's what got the crowd really going too. So no, it was fun.
I bet.
Um, so yeah, they enjoyed it. I'm glad Red Sox won because their team won. It helps a little bit, but regardless, good time. Though going back home on the tee really sucked, really crowded. But anyone that lives in Boston who goes on the tee after a Fenway game, they know. So
Oh, so you guys didn't just drive into the city? Well, driving in the city is a pain in the ass.
it is, and yeah, we usually go because me and Jill usually do this too when we go to Boston. We go to Alewife because it's pretty close and pretty easy to get to, and then we just take the T into wherever
Mhm.
we got to go. The Green Line
Oh no,
is
I raw dog that shit. I get right. I on Sunday I'm going right into the city. So
You're a
I
brave
I
motherfucker. It's just like I'm not dealing with the crowds. I'm like, fuck it. You know what I mean? This is fine. It's just when everyone like getting there is
I
it's easy. It's the leaving part. But we did our little
yeah.
elbows. We got in and it wasn't too bad. But yeah, no, I'll always take the T. I just trying to get out of parking lots and shit like that. I'm like, people are crazy. People are stupid and just walking across the street.
Sometimes like I'll just Uber and do it too. Like Uber works for me. Um, I just rarely take the T just because I just don't. Um, but yeah. So Sunday I'll be there. There's a game at 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. I'll be heading into the city. I should be getting there by 1 o'clock. So that should be a very interesting day. What do you think about their uniforms up close? The Red Sox wearing the green uniforms.
I didn't have a problem with it. I know it's a different look. I mean, I'm not going to be like, I miss the classic. What threw me off is a lot of the crowds were wearing like the yellow. I don't know if there's a yellow
Yes,
version, and
there is.
why
Oh my
it
God,
throws
very
off.
controversial.
It's not that it's controversial. I don't care. Wear what you want. My
Oh,
nephew was
Sarah
wearing
hates
yellow.
it. Oh,
But here's
Sarah
why:
hates it.
the people who come around the vendors, like the hot dogs and the water and all the
Mhm,
stuff, wear yellow. And we're just trying to, because Brian
mhm.
wanted the fucking peanut guy. The peanut guy never came to our section. Like he wanted someone to throw a bag of peanuts. It was just, and every time I would just see like a yellow jersey, I'm like, oh nope, that's just a regular. Oh no, so we saw the hot dog guy a couple times. So yeah, that threw me off because I just saw a sea of yellow. Um, you know what? I mean, the green was fine. Yeah, I mean, you say up close, but when you're in the bleachers, it's a little far. But I did not have a problem with it. I get it. Little different look. Yes, I tend to sometimes like I just like the old school, but you know what? I was fine. I yellow though. If they were, I don't know. I don't know. That's a little bright for
Yeah, it
me.
is the blue and the yellow, which represents the colors of the Boston Marathon, which I happen to find that uniform to be fucking awesome. And they've got a really good record when they wear the blue and the yellow.
Hmm.
Looks like Blockbuster Video too. No surprise there.
But what about
Um,
what if it's mainly yellow though? I'm just talking about like if do they have all?
no,
It's blue and
no,
with
it's
yellow.
it's baby blue and yellow.
Okay. Because what people were wearing were
That's their
yellow.
combination.
Like yellow and the blue was like the numbers. So a lot of people were
Yeah,
wearing,
yeah, yeah. But
yeah.
the hats are like be blue. Like the hats will be like blue with like
Oh.
yellow bees on it. But Sarah hates it. Every time Sarah sees it, she's like, "This is disgusting." She's like, "This is non-traditional." Like, what the fuck? So, and where
Bring
and now
back my
that these
Red
new green
Sox.
monsters, that's how she is. Yeah. So she's like, dyed in the wool, old school Red Sox fan. Like she likes it when the players wear the high Red Sox.
Hmm.
She's like, you're the Red Sox. I look City Connect uniforms. I don't know if even the Cubs have a City Connect uniform, but in basketball, this is very common. Like the Celtics have like three or four different uniforms that they rotate on, and of course, it's all to make money
Of
and to kind of
course.
freshen up the brand. Like that's all it's for. But I got generally no problem with it. And I like these new ones because it does tie into the Green Monster, which is that's the thing about this fucking stadium in particular. It's got like a humongous wall out there in left field. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's been a long time since I got to a Red Sox game. Kind of jealous.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, they're out there. I bought these tickets back in April when the Red Sox kind of sucked, so I actually got them kind of cheap too. So, uh, but that's a different story.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit hot now. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
tied
that's
with
the
the
thing. I
Yankees.
was like, all right,
Yeah, of
because again, I didn't even care who they played. I was just like, whatever. I
course.
kind of talked to Brian. We talked about scheduling when he was around when we could do this, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it on Friday night. Is that all right? Yep. So we did it this. I'm like, oh, they're playing the Astros. Well, let's see how they do. Again, so these tickets were bought in April. So yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously the Red Sox weren't, because I know they're expected to do well, and they just start off, from what I heard, just shit. But they,
Well,
they,
they're
they
like
brought it back.
500.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, they're a game behind the Yankees and 4 games out of first in the division. So they're in the hunt right now. Um, but yeah, early, if you get them early on, people who are selling them on StubHub, you're like, fuck these tickets. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, and the
Yeah.
Astros are a good team too. So to see two good teams,
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
it was just like I said, it was a great game, great experience always, and yeah, first time I've seen an extra inning game live. So I was like, all right, this is cool. I'm like, I don't know if this goes like 15, 16 innings. I'm like, we might have to get home. I'm old man. I gotta, I need some kind of sleep. But
Jesus Christ. It doesn't happen that often now that they have the ghost runner on second. Um, which, is what it is. I don't think they have that in the playoffs though. I think in the playoffs they do not have the ghost runner on second. That's like a season thing. I might be wrong, but all these things, like to your point, were put in to make it quicker. And most of the times when I'm watching a Red Sox game at night, it's like only like 2.5 hours long,
yeah,
which is what a basketball game is. But back in the heyday when it was like I'd say
three and a
pre-COVID,
half could be 4 hours. Yeah.
um, 3.5, dude. It was like 4.5 hours.
Well, that's just
Some
said
Red
three and
Sox
a half.
Yankees games
Yeah.
were 5 hours. Like some Red Sox Yankee games for a 9 inning game were like 4+ fucking hours. And I would go to my friend all the time and say, I don't have the ability to commit my life to this every single day. Because football, it's your part of your Sunday, right? And as excited as we are about football, and I'm getting more excited, it's like not your whole day. Like either it's at 4 o'clock or it's at 1 o'clock, but you got time to go to the supermarket, you got time to get your snacks and shit like that, get beer, and then you settle in for the day. And you're watching football and you're tracking your fantasy teams all across whatever.
Yeah.
Even no matter where I am, like if I have errands and I like maybe I can't watch the Patriots, I'm still checking my fantasy like app.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh God, like how am I doing? Oh God, you know what? I'm not gonna look at it because I don't want it to be bad luck. I want to be surprised. I'm not gonna keep because I will incessantly look at my Yahoo and like refresh it. It is disgusting. How much I will refresh those fantasy scores. So, one hand I'm like excited for it. The other hand I'm like, oh no, here comes the OCD.
Correct. And real. I'm going to make one last point about baseball because I do want to go and talk about football. So you brought up the runner at second, and one of the guys that was
Yeah.
next to me brought up a good point. And I don't know how you feel, blah blah blah, because I don't know how I personally feel about it. I heard about it and I kind of forgot about it until it's happening. I'm like, and I get it. I'm
Mhm.
like you said, games quicker, but he said he didn't like it, and the reason being is more from the pitcher perspective. That pitcher did not put that player on second base. If that player scores, it goes against his ERA.
That's fucked up.
So if you think about that, yeah, he didn't. He had nothing to do with it. Like we go back to the Red Sox. I don't know who's pitching for the Astros. Bang bang. One extra run. So I'm like that goes.
Yeah,
Goes against it, and he didn't. So I get that maybe especially when you're a pitcher trying to make money contract. Now maybe people will look at things differently. But I'm like that's actually a valid point. He did not put the runner
I
there. I
agree.
get you. We everyone's like when the guy was on third, and Red Sox huddled up and they got lucky. It was a quick one hopper to the shortstop, hit him at home and got him at home. So yeah, I was like that's a very good point. If you're a pitcher, because there's
Mhm.
nothing they can do. Because I was like, almost if you have two good bunches, you can almost bunt that guy home. I know Red Sox tried, but either way,
You
that
could, yeah, yeah. You could get them over, and
if you
then
can
that
do a
way you
good
have less
bunt,
than 2 outs.
yeah. But that I
That
just
way you can win on a sacrifice play.
that's all that matters. Get the guy home. But so yeah. Speaking about football and fantasy, back to your point, I'm so fucking obsessive with it. Like a lot of times, if I'm home on a Sunday, I'll have my laptop, like on fantasy,
Uh-huh.
or
Oh
football,
God.
depending if Jill's using the TV. But if Jill's not, I'll have TV on a football game. And then I'll have my phone kind of like refreshing or texting you or from like I'm texting people too.
Uh,
Like, and it's sad because like
I
yes,
know.
if I'm out, I'm kind of looking at the score, like fantasy scores, like, okay, it's right now 55-40, project. All right, this is going to be close, because I'm like, I hate how obsessive it makes you feel. But
Oh
You
yeah.
pay attention to every, like, it's almost a relief when it's over. And I know we joked about this last year. Like, I know we had injuries galore. My team, like, 1 week, I had 4 or 5 injuries beyond just McCaffrey. It was brutal for me last season. Like, everyone, I'm like, I had Nico Call. I'm like, what the fuck? And when it was officially over, the initial thought, I was pissed. Then I'm like, I'm free. Like, I know you had an extra week because you're actually you were in the playoffs. It was the first time I missed. I'm like, oh, I could just watch football. But like you, I'm like, we come back for it. We want it. We want more. We're like, this is what we're doing. And yeah, we're starting fantasy or soon. But football. There was a
Oh,
preseason game on
it's like
Friday. Oh, go ahead.
it's like,
Before.
and we'll talk about that, but it's like it's you're interacting with it, like yeah, we have other sports and we watch them, but I don't interact with other sports like I interact with football. Like
Correct.
I'm literally like I have it's kind of fucking genius because to your point, it makes you pay attention to players that you would never pay attention to if it was the old school mid 90s. You just pay attention to your home thing. In the mid 90s before the internet, I'm sure you did this too. Like when the games were over for the day, I would tune into like primetime NFL like on ESPN with like Chris Berman and shit and like watch all the highlights of
Mm-hmm.
everything that happened. But I didn't have an emotional stake in the results. They were just results that were interesting. But now it's like, no, like I might have that guy, and if he went off for 3 touchdowns and I won my week, like, oh my God, like
You're
I
doing the
feel
dance.
like I won too.
Correct.
And so that's a different thing.
And I agree. Like, I remember, again, 90s, maybe even early 2000s before I started, I mean, fantasy. But like you, Sports Center, whatever, you're just watching the highlights and this and that, and you're just like,
Yeah.
damn good plays. You watch the teams you might want to lose, whether they're division opponents or something that helps your team get closer to the playoffs.
Sure.
That's about all you care. Everything focused on your team. You didn't really care about too much else, but you're just like, oh, damn, he went off. Good job, whatever. Like, oh, we got to face him next week. But yeah, to your point now, it's so weird because I purposely do my best, and I've done this for however many years, to not pick up a Green Bay Packer player for my team. Because think about it though,
I don't want
I
to
mean,
either.
but you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, you don't want to root for them, especially depending on how well it might. Because you had Josh Allen last year, did you not? Wasn't that your main QB?
I did, yeah.
I
That
mean,
was my
that
main
had to be
QB. Yeah.
tough. I mean, I know the Patriots were, obviously different than, basically the last 20 years, but it still kind of has to suck. I mean, but I don't, you got to do what you got to do in fantasy. You suck it
Uh,
up. You got to suck it
I
up,
mean,
but I'm just,
kinda. I would have chosen him if the Patriots were competitive, right? Like that was just that's a fantasy thing. I probably wouldn't go with a quarterback this time around, and to give you sort of a little bit of what I'm thinking about, just as a preview. I don't want to miss out on wide receivers because I don't want to be stuck with a fucking Green Bay Packers fucking wide receiver this year. And I felt that I reached for like Josh Allen and then the other asshole from fucking who's the guy on the Lions? Who's the tight end
Goff.
there?
Oh, tight end, Laporta.
Yeah, Laporta. Like I jumped on Laporta way too early and it fucked my whole entire thing. So there are so many good wide receivers I think this year that I'm gonna load up on that first and then try to see if I can find. I mean, you taught me all about handcuffs last year because had I gotten a handcuff for fucking
Caffrey. Yeah.
CMC, I would have done better. Like he fucking did that shit. But I'll tell you right now, and don't be surprised if CMC falls to me, dude. I'm drafting him.
Well, it depends on how, like, I don't know. Well, it depends where my
Doing
pick
it.
is. But no, you have the right idea because I did this last year. Because again, with the receivers, because the receiver kind of like last year, receiver was just, it ended up, we obviously, in hindsight, some of the running backs just, we know what Barkley did. Even Derrick Henry almost returned to form, numbers wise. So there was a lot of running backs, but if you're looking, I went so heavy on receivers. Like I had a strong, overall. It just injuries killed me. But luckily, I had enough to kind of cover it for a while, but I just couldn't do it a
Yeah.
full season because it did catch up. But they put up numbers. I had like Collins, I had St. Brown. I forgot who I had, but like I loaded my first three. Actually, my first pick was McCaffrey because he fell to me. But then after that, it was like I went receiver because like in the league we're in that I'm doing your league now. There's three receiver
Mhm.
spots. You have
Yeah.
to with only and now you only have one running back spot and yeah, one flex. But like that makes it different because I had two running backs, two receivers, two flex. But when you have three receiver
Hmm.
spots to fill, you have to almost. But to your point, I was surprised you took a tight end. I do not like taking quarterbacks or tight ends in the first 5 rounds.
Oh,
I do wait. Like I find that rule of thumb. Like I wait for the first person to take a QB. Then I'm like, okay, now I gotta see because you still need a decent QB. You still, you can't, especially in the 16 team league, you do not want
there are
like
so many though. You
correct.
can
But
pick up so
but
many.
I'm just saying,
You know.
here's the thing: do you want the 16th best, QB, projected, or maybe eighth or ninth? So like I said, once I see the first couple, it's taken off. That's when I start noticing, okay, how far? Because otherwise, you're starting people like Goff. You're starting people like Caleb Williams, where you're like, oh, they could put up numbers one week, but they're gonna fuck me another week. Where usually Josh Allen, Joe, so yeah, I'm never the first to do a QB, and tight end's gonna be close. The last pick is kicker. I could care the fuck less about a kicker. They're
Oh, I
all
don't
the
give.
same.
You can find a kicker off the street. Same with defense. I'm
The
like, I don't give a fuck.
defense,
Like,
that depending, you do now because again, 16 teams, you got to be that you might not want the first
yeah,
defense, but you kind of just you want a defense that gets you through most of the year. Where you can just be like, okay, they might only give me a point or two, but they're not going to give me -10. I know I'm just
right.
making up
Yeah.
numbers, so. Um,
No. But I know what you mean. Like, they're not going to be like a detriment. Like, you can carry them because, yeah, like you just got to put. There's just so much value in a 16 league team to get like all the wide receivers that you're going to want are going to be gone within the first like 2 rounds.
yep.
So you have to like focus on wide receiver, and then as that shifts, then you kind of can switch up like to running back because I think that the running backs are going to be. There's a lot of running backs you could probably get in the later rounds too that are going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, but I would rather get like a pass catching running back, right? And that's why
Correct.
CMC is
When you're
so
in PPR, yeah.
attractive.
Definitely want
Oh
that.
my god, like because then you got him, getting you points catching and everything, and I think the Patriots are going to have a pretty good pass catching running back. Their rookie that they picked up this year, that's going to be interesting too. So, but yeah, no, I'm going to be going for wide receivers, pass catchers. That's
Hmm.
because then you're just waiting so fucking long for another pick. You almost want to be the last one. Like if the ping pong balls fall a certain way, because if you do the last pick, you get the first pick of the second round. So you do back to back picks.
Yeah,
So
we'll see.
that's interesting.
It is. Then you got 30, but then you're waiting 32 spots of 31.
You're gonna wait there to yeah, you're gonna wait a long time anyway. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're
but
right.
if
Like
you're in the
there's pros
middle,
and
you're only
cons.
waiting 16 each time. If you really think about it, because obviously the most you're
Yeah,
going to wait is six. Like if you're the eighth or ninth, you're waiting 16 times, because, one round, because you're the middle. But yeah, if you're like the first pick or the 16th pick, the back to back is good because at least what I do, and I don't, I'm sure you do, a lot of people do it. Like when it's like two picks before you start looking. And you're like, okay, these are the
of
three I
course.
want, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this guy's
Yep.
gone two. Okay, now they're like, this guy's the first. So that way, because I'm usually, for the most part, very quick and decisive once I get there. I mean, very rare, unless I'm deciding on a, defense, but it's just like, all right, I need to do this. This is what I'm doing. We'll just see where it falls. But either way, it should be, I'm getting excited for fantasy. I know we got a few weeks to go. But I have a question for you. I know you didn't watch the
Yeah.
game. I'm assuming you didn't watch the game um, because it's a preseason game. But did
Oh
you,
no, I did not. No, I didn't even see the. I think I saw some highlights of Trey Lance. Yeah,
okay, did you see any highlights of the NFL, the new virtual NFL measurement system?
I did see this on TikTok. A little bit of this. Yeah.
So
Did you watch this game live?
no. I was busy. I think on my phone I think I texted you because I saw like Trey Lance he threw a touchdown pass. I'm like, oh, Trey Lance.
Yes.
I'm like, he's again. I know he got the short end of the stick. I don't know what happened, whatever. But I did not even know he's in the Chargers. But yeah, this virtual, this is where I laugh. I I am not in the conspiracy theorists where I feel like the refs are helping the best team. I mean, yes, people can say the Chiefs,
More of a basketball
but they can also look at the Patriots, because it happens. But I'm like, whatever, I have to get past it because I just like, there's more important things in the game. I do not want to blame the refs. But now I'm looking at this virtual measurement system. I'm like, if the NFL is going to rig games, they fucking can do it so much easier now because all we see is the fucking yellow line where the ball is to a point. And I'm like, they can just move the yellow line.
Yeah.
I I don't know
Could.
I mean, I don't know how accurate it is. Again, I know they are testing it out for the preseason game for the regular season. Um,
I like it.
I
It's
don't know.
modern.
Yes, it
You
is
know,
modern,
there's
but
not a lot of
is
there's
it
not a
good?
lot
Is
of.
it reliable?
I mean, as reliable as what? One guy holding a chain and another guy pulling it, like, and making sure he's there. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot.
At
Like,
least
I
the
mean,
chain's
we
10
see the yellow
yards and you
line
know
on
where the ball
TV.
is.
We see, like, I mean, think about like growing up watching football. We didn't have fucking graphics
Nope.
on the field like that said 5 more yards to a first down with like an arrow that like looks seamless and like looks really cool and like that you could see the line of demarcation like where they need to go. Like they even have fucking field goal range like little markers that are digital and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the way the camera goes across the field now, like how it's like suspended in midair. There's a bunch of really cool things that NFL does. I don't mind the digital first down thing because dude, why the fuck not? I mean, if it's accurate, it's like laser accurate. I'm assuming it is. Um, I'm sure a lot of this stuff is going to be like automated, but why not? It's like one less thing to remove human error. I know that, going back to baseball, umpires are still, looking with their eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
But even there, they're experimenting in baseball with having, they've done it in the minor leagues where you can one time a game you can ask for a review of a pitch and the computer will say whether or not it was a pitch or not, like whether or not it was a strike.
Huh.
um so I don't know, it's the same idea for me. I don't know how that's going to go, but um it's the same idea for me with football. I don't mind like little innovations like that. I mean, fuck, dude, like I don't think, I know people like to say, oh, this it's rigged or whatever, but there's too many people who bet on this shit for it to be rigged. I think, but that's
Correct.
just me
I
personally. I
mean,
mean,
like I said,
if it
I'm
was
not
rigged,
a
the Chiefs would have fucking won last year. You know?
maybe. I don't know. They need other teams and Philly is just they're like let's throw them a bone, but no, I laughed. I looked at it, and I actually was kind of confused because I'm also like, well, which direction's the ball facing? Because I didn't, they're just like first down before they had anything pointing. They just had the ball in the line. I'm like, well, how do I know the ball's not short? And then the first down's pointing to the right. I'm like, you might want to do that beforehand or the right. Because again, I only saw the quick highlights. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going
Right.
on. But I just looked at it, I'm like, all right, if it works and if it's accurate, I'm fine. I'm kind of just more mocking it. I just laugh
We'll
because
see it a
like I
lot
just
this
feel like there's ways to be like, haha, let's cheat for our team or something like that.
year.
But
You could. You
you
could. I
could,
mean, but the thing is, you can't even fucking like you can't even dispute pass interference, which I think that's ruining the game, to be quite honest. Not ruining it. That's probably a hard word, but like some of these pass interference sometimes are these major calls, like, and then they're not like overturnable, like that kind of sucks. But that's the only issue I have with football. It's like sometimes you just don't even understand what is a pass interference. So I think refs can like that's how they turn the tide of the game, more than like the digital line.
yeah. So we shall see. We'll see. It's again NFL season starting soon. I mean, they already started preseason starting. Um, so
Yeah,
and I don't know when the
we're
first.
in August, man.
I know. Oh my god, yeah, scary shit. Like goddamn, August fall will get here, and I mean, basically they said it. There's gonna be a football game every week until the Super Bowl, and that works for me. I mean, I might not be watching some of these preseason games, but I do look, real quick. Like, all right, Chargers whooped Lions. I'm like, I know they're all second stringers. Oh, Trey Lance is. But see now,
Yeah, because you never
see,
know
go
who's gonna
back to
be
your
handcuffed.
fantasy. Not that you got to look at these handcuffs. You got to because these are the
Yeah,
backups playing. So,
I'm very intrigued for handcuffs this year. You taught me that shit last year.
well, I should have paid
It's
more
very
attention to
critical.
my own advice, or just I know we talk. Just I should have picked up Mason in the friggin' draft. I was just kind of like you, getting the best
Yep.
available, just trying to load up my team and figuring it out later, like anyone to pick up. But I
Hmm.
also did not think McCaffrey was in the shape that he was. I thought, yeah, he might miss a couple weeks. I just felt like something was, but I did not think it would be as bad as it was. So either way, if McCaffrey falls to me at a good
None of us did. I mean, he
round,
had both. Yeah.
yeah. But we'll
Pick him.
see.
Like, there's no reason not to. I mean, he's fully healed, and he does have the every other year thing. So and when he's fully healthy, dude,
Oh, he's a
he's a
beast.
league
He's
winner.
a fucking beast. Yeah. So if the pick is right and the
You know,
spot is right, you're right. I mean, I know we joke not taking him, but there comes to a point where you got to roll the dice, especially with you never know. And if he has
I'll do it.
if
I
he
don't
has
give
a
a
bounce
fuck. I
back,
think this would be my third year in a row. This is my
you're my
this
guy.
is my third year in a
You're my
row.
boy, CMC.
I'm just, it's like I'm just gonna be like, fuck it, roll the dice. Like, just be consistent. Some years you win the league, and some years you don't.
Well, it's funny because
I don't know.
I was looking at like kind of as we all do like rankings and just gain ideas and stuff like that. And I've done a couple
Yeah.
mock drafts. I'm like, all right, what if I'm the 14th pick? What if I'm the just I kind of just, and it also gets me back in the Yahoo draft and just making sure everything runs correctly. But like you, I mean,
Mhm.
obviously it wasn't a CMC conundrum, but like the last 3 seasons, I have drafted Kenneth Walker, Seattle running back, and he did great, but he's also been injured. And that his backup,
Mhm.
Charbonnet or Chardonnay, not Chardonnay, Charbonnet, I believe, whatever, Carbonate, whatever,
Yeah.
um,
Mhm.
goes lights out when Walker's not in because but they put so now I'm like, God, do I want to take Walker again? Because he's helped me, but he's also fucked me. Like if I do, I gotta get the handcuff. But like I gotta get, but in a 16 team league, you're gonna be, you're
You're gonna
almost,
be
it's gonna be
getting
tough getting your own
scraps.
handcuff. It's what I
Yeah,
mean.
it's
You
gonna
have
be
to.
scraps, dude. Like, it's gonna be. That's the thing, is that it just, like, the wasteland that it becomes. It gets there really quick with a 16 league team. You're all of a sudden just like, oh my god, everybody I wanted is gone. That's why I like 10 team leagues. I think
10 to
that's a
12 is
good
yeah,
spot
yeah.
because you get really good guys, and then also there's waiver wire availability as well, so you can pick up like not everybody, because like here, and you'll learn this in our league. Yeah, like everybody's putting in a waiver for somebody, and there's so many people putting in waiver claims that like our the league that you just joined is like a very active league. These guys, it's very hard to like catch anybody napping, just because of how large it is and how long we've had the league going. I think it's been going for at least 10 years.
All right.
Um, and yeah, so these guys don't fucking fall asleep on shit.
So I have 2 questions for you, and this is on because I
Mhm.
didn't not read this. So first of all, and how many bench spots do you have? Do you,
Oh god, off the top of my head, it's like
if you don't
I
remember?
want to say like 5.
Holy
I
shit!
can open up. I can open up my thing
No,
right
no, no,
now and
no,
tell
not
you.
important. The second one's more important. All right. So with the waiver wires, because it's done one of two
Yeah.
ways. Okay.
Yep.
So and I learned I didn't even think about the second way until I joined the post office league. I'm like, oh shit, because to me, I always thought it was one way. So does your waiver wire reset every week to where the worst team gets it, or does it go through the season? So like if you have the first pick this week, but you don't use it, do you still have the first pick next week? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so as long as you don't use your waiver wire
You
pick,
can.
you'll
Oh yeah.
still maintain your ranking, if that makes sense.
Yes. No. No. That's how
Um,
the post. When I was in the CVS league, every week
mhm.
the waiver wire reset. So whoever was the worst team got the first pick regardless. So it was almost there beneficial just to put in waiver wires to try. Whereas when you keep it, you're like, well, this week I don't feel like there's no one there. I'll keep it, hoping that the next week
Mhm.
someone, yeah. So, and that's why I
So you
asked,
can
because
get high. Yeah, you get higher. Like like
as
if
other
other people
people use
like
it, correct. So, like if I
names,
had
like
fifth,
they fall back to front.
yeah. But no, I've seen
Yeah,
both.
so
That's
you're
fine.
right.
Yeah, no, no, no. I was just asking because, like I said, I've seen it both done both ways. So, because that's a different mindset. Because yes, when it resets every week, you almost like, well, I got to just throw it in. I don't care. Whereas, like I said, if you
Mhm.
have, if I'm pick three, I don't see anyone. You're pick one, and someone else, and you both pick. I move up to one, with But it's a different mind game. So either way, I'm excited for fantasy. I know I'm going to play you twice. I know we'll talk about it. So hold on. I do want, before we get to our main event, so to speak, our SummerSlam talk. So I know we talked about this a little bit briefly, very briefly. Um, Doing a live draft, just streaming live.
Yep.
Okay. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, I was going to let you know, be relaxed. Have your AC on. I'm going to have my fan on because it's going to be a few hours. No one's going to listen to us.
Oh,
I
dude,
can't.
it's like a 2 hour fucking thing.
Yeah, no, no. And I'm like, I kind of want to test a few things out because what I can do is once I have it on the my laptop and everything set up, I can actually put on our streaming thing, like the picks, like next pick, like they can see, so they can almost see what we see. I just have to make sure no one's name is there. Not that anyone would probably care, but you know what I mean. Just I don't, just in
Yeah, of
case.
course.
But you know, it'd be like next
Yeah.
pick and like, oh shit. Um, Part of me sooner or later, and you know, we'll have this will be an off air topic. Like sooner or later, we need to talk about maybe doing a face cam every now and then. Show our ugly mugs to the world.
I
But
think I have to get my shit, like kind of my background a little bit more ready than I have it now.
no,
But I'm not opposed to it.
no, yeah, I was just like, because again, you think about the next step, we would, you know, because obviously more people
Yeah.
see it, but I'm just like, I don't, I was like, do I want to test that here? Because again, like I said, have your, because at least if we do it live, you know, you can take a bathroom break, get food. Like I said, I know it's not serious, but we can make fun of whatever. People join, they join. Hell, if you know anyone that wants to join us in Discord and talk shit too, that's fine. Obviously, it doesn't matter, but yeah, my
Right.
plan is once I get the website, you know, the draft up, I should be able to put it in one area. I don't know. I'll have to work something out. So at least that way something's changing, and they're like, all right, next pick is this
Mhm.
team, and they draft, you know, CMC, and you're like, God damn it! But we'll see. But
I
yeah,
mean, I always drink a lot during this. Like, I don't drink too much because the last time there was one fantasy draft, I'd say 2 or 3 years ago, where I decided to drink like bourbon,
ooh,
and I blacked the fuck out in the middle of the draft, and boy, did I pay for that for the rest of the year.
yeah.
So, because it's the same thing with poker. I like playing poker. Well, okay, I don't really like playing poker, but I do like when I'm sitting down at the poker table, like what I feel to be like a relaxed atmosphere is sitting down, having a beer, and just like playing cards. But the more you drink, the stupider you get, like the looser you get.
Correct.
And so you're actually like playing where it's more fun because you take more risks when you get drunk, but you also then lose money, which nothing makes me more mad than losing money. I think that's why I had to stop poker to begin
Well,
with because I don't like being separated from my money. My money and
well,
I are
okay.
best friends.
Well, then I don't know how the second part of this conversation. I was gonna say, if you ever do a Foxwoods
I
trip
do.
with me, you know, if we're like, let's go to Foxwoods,
Yeah.
do you realize, yes, there's poker rooms, but there's also tables. There's
Yeah.
like card games, poker
Mhm.
games, where it's basically, think of it, you need to get tens or better. So you can drink a little bit more. You're not playing against anyone. As long as you know what your cards
Yeah.
are and what you need to do, you're like, well, fuck it, this is simple. So, I mean, I can't
Yeah.
guarantee that
True.
you'll win because, you know, gambling is gambling. You know, sometimes you get separated from your money. So that's why you take the shit chance. And
You
sometimes
talking
you
about limit or no limit?
no. So what the one game I like playing, and there's 4 or 5 different poker games, and I've not even looked into some of the other ones. There's one called Let It Ride. Have you ever played Let It Ride?
Yeah. Let it ride is like a 3 card thing, right?
Yes and no. It's
You
still a
go
five
against the
card.
dealer and let it ride, don't you?
No, you don't go against the deal. You, basically, tens are better. So yes, you get you start off with 3 cards. Make 3 even bets. So $5, $5, $5,
Yep.
whatever. You get 3 cards.
Uh-huh.
Let's just say you have a pair of tens. Well, you already won. You let all 3 bets ride. And then there's two community cards which everyone uses. So like you make the best five. You know your
Oh, to
hand.
make
So
okay.
so
Yep.
you have a pair of tens. You're like, well, I've already won. You know you're gonna get at least 1 to 1. So you say you're like let it ride. Now the dealer flips the first one. She flips a 10. Well, shit, you just made trips. So now you made you know whatever on 3 of a kind is on 3 bets. So you can't lose.
Hmm.
So the object is like I said, just tens or better. I'm sitting next to you. I'm like, yeah, go. Like, oh fuck, I got 2, 4, and 6. Fuck this. But if you have three, there's other versions you can bet on. Like, they say, like your 3 cards. So in your 3 cards, you can do like a bonus bet. But like if I had 3 clubs, I'm like, ooh, all right, I'm feeling like you let it ride. And if it turns up a heart, I'm like, fuck, and then I'll pull the second because you can pull the first 2 bets back. So if you have shit, you pull the first. So you have to do 3 even bets. So like 5, 5, 5, or 10,
Mhm.
10, 10. Um,
Yep.
but the first 2 bets you can pull back. But like I said, if you have tens or better, you're getting paid across the board. So you just say let it ride, let it ride. Or, you pull the first bet back, like if you had a pair of nines and then she flips a nine, you're like, well shit, just let it ride. So you're not going against the
Mm.
dealer, you're not going against the other players. It's basically, yeah, you get 3 cards dealt down, but the next two everyone uses, and it's just free talk. But I usually have a few beers. Um Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, I obviously lost money. Last time I went, I ended up winning 500 some bucks. Because I also
Nice.
I like doing, so I do the bonus bets as well, so which you don't have to do. And I but if you like if you do certain bets and you get like three of kind or better, like, well, you got three of kind, here's 50 bucks. That's it. Like I hit a flush. Oh, here's 150 and I actually started putting that aside. I'm like, all right, once I get down to this, I'm walking away with 500 bucks, so I'm walking away ahead. And then Jill hit it big the very last day. So no, there's tables. Like
Oh yeah.
I get you playing poker, when you're playing against other people, there's so much. And if you get drunk, yeah, not only you're ruining your chances because you're like, oh shit, I can't read, I'm just whatever. But at least when you're playing like at a table, like a card game, like blackjack or something, you're like, oh fuck, you can just at least walk away, and that's fine. So that's what I like doing. I do eventually one day want to do a poker tournament just to say I did it at Foxwoods, but I love the
Oh,
tables.
you never have.
Not at Foxwoods. No, I've done the
Yeah, no, I've done it.
I couple times I thought about it. I think one time, oh, one time I got sick, and I was out for a day,
Oh
which
yeah, you're telling me
which it
about
was just it was so random. I think I at first I thought it was food. It's something I ate. Like it was just all night, and I was fine. I mean, I was kind of in bed, but I didn't throw up again. And then this last time, because Tuesdays are the cheapest poker tournaments in the morning. But I think we're gonna go in February because when Jill has off school and we get a free hotel,
it. Yeah,
you got to get yourself that card somehow because that's like I said, the free hotel helps.
gotta get my
Um,
ass down there. Yeah,
I mean, you might be able to do it, you or Sarah, and I can show you how to do it online because you can't do it for Friday or Saturday nights. But you just put it in as long as you register it to the site. Anytime you look for a hotel, you
yeah.
just sign in with your card, and then it might be like this hotel. We usually try for it's called the Grand Pequot. It's like the more fancier one, but that's the one with the indoor pool. So we do. I mean,
Oh,
it's not the fancy, but there's no kids after like one. So
that's nice.
so yeah, it's just a simple pool, a little jacuzzi, and yeah, we just said we've done that a couple times. But yeah, they do have an outdoor pool, but obviously when you go in February, it's closed. So and that outdoor pool gets
Yeah,
crowded because it's free. But yeah,
I
like I
bet.
said, but yeah, no, we like going, especially like I said because of the free hotel. But I would again back to like I said, if you ever come down with us or you just want to try it, I can't guarantee that you won't get separated from your money because that's the chance you take. But
That's
at
what
least when you're
happens.
just
Yeah.
doing tables, you can drink a little bit more because that's always my favorite part. Just talking to other people and just having a couple beers and whatnot. Because I'll just wait just have Bud Light or whatever they got, and you're just
Yeah.
I like that environment compared to when people are just there, not just taking it a little too seriously or just looking grumpy. You know what I
I
mean? So
know.
I like again.
So
I sometimes
serious.
yeah. So I don't play the table. It depends how it goes. I'll table hop, and I'm not. I, I haven't done a blackjack table in a while because there's actually now sections where you can just it's you see the dealer, but you can have your own like little private thing. You can do either roulette, blackjack. So and I like that. I'm like, well, shit, I don't have to be around people. I can make bets. Um, but I kind of
Really
miss. Yeah, it was kind of nice. But at the same
interesting.
time, I do again miss being around the table talk. Because again, you're not playing against the other players. But
In blackjack, no,
not really,
you're
unless you
playing
see,
with the other
unless you,
players, and
yeah, unless you kind of hit when you're not technically supposed to, and like that was my card, what
yes,
that's about the
right.
some of it, but it's not like poker, like I said, let it ride. You're not playing against the others. You just like I like it, but there's also like Caribbean stuff, all these other games which I kind of look. I'm like I don't know. I'm always nervous. I'm like because I have to ask the rules a little bit, because there is three card poker. I did do that a few times. Um, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But yeah, you can ante. So, but again, for that Let It Ride is probably my favorite one. It's simple. Yes, you can lose your money quick if the table's not hitting. Then you just like fuck it. I'm walking away. I'm going to slot machines. Not when you're in a poker tournament. You're like God, I gotta wait till I officially get knocked out. So,
I
oh
hate that, especially unlimited rebuy poker tournaments. Like that is just because you're just trying to survive the first like 45 minutes of unlimited rebuys
yeah,
because everybody is playing every single hand. So you have to play like tight, but then you're also trying to capitalize on an idiot. But then if you try to capitalize on an idiot, there's also a chance that he'll bust you
correct.
with some bullshit on the river because he doesn't care because he's just going to rebuy. So that is to me like Because I know I'm sure we've talked about rounders and all that, but yes, there is skill to poker, but the worst poker player in the world can still beat the best poker player in the world because the cards still have to come out, and you can get fucked on the river, like, or you get fucked on the turn. It just happens.
Yeah. I always consider myself more of a tournament player than a cash player. Um, it's more my, and I'm with you. I hate rebuys because, and I've learned this, what a lot of players do, especially, at their tables, like you said, they'll put more money out because they think, all right, when the
Yeah.
rebuy ends, I can beat these suckers and I'll have more money when
Mhm.
I go play the people at the
Yep.
other table. And you're right, it's
Hmm.
tough, and I think that's part of the reason I haven't done the Foxwoods one because like a lot of them they're like, this and this rebuy, and I'm like, I might do one rebuy, but so again, I kind of want to try it, and we'll see. I might do the Tuesday one because it was the cheapest, but I do like the World Series of Poker. I love watching that, and I love that style. One buy in, you're out, you're out. Let it. And I like
Hmm.
the long blinds. Like 20 minute. So it's like sets it up. Um, but I'm with you. Like rebuys and the people that are crazy. It's tough. So, but again,
You need a bankroll.
if
That's
you
it.
if
If
you
you have a bankroll, it's no problem.
correct, but me and we don't have. Well, we have a bankroll, but
I
not for
don't have
that.
that.
Not for that. Not for that game.
Not for that.
For a
Not for
round,
that.
for a
But it's
round
like
or two.
then you can take risks. But if you're like if the risk that you are putting into it, like, if you really can't part with this money, that puts undue pressure on you. And I think that if you don't have the bankroll, you shouldn't be playing poker
Correct, and
in
that's
that kind of situation. That's what I'm
well.
saying.
That goes with like anything gambling, and me and Jill always talk about this. Like we have a set plan. Like we're bringing this. If we lose it, we
Yeah.
lose it. Like this is what we're gonna lose, and we
Mhm.
we have a little extra money that we try and save. Like next time we go, we're like we gotta do Hell's Kitchen again, so we're gonna at least save a little money and have
Oh,
that be our
hell yeah.
special. Well, because we didn't do it last time because we did it for our 10-year anniversary. We did like the guy a couple other places, but I think we're like we gotta do it again. And plus, I'm like I need it.
But yeah, the trash can nachos. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was okay. Like we even were like, yeah, the whole place wasn't impressive. I mean, I'm sure there's other good food, and it's obviously not as expensive. It's not bad, but I think yeah, we want to do Hell's Kitchen now that my job's a little bit more stable. I'm like now we can go for more days because usually I would have to wait till like Monday to have to work so that or like to go on a Tuesday, and we go for a few nights, which isn't a big deal. But now I'm like I could book the hotel Sunday to Friday, get that whole week free,
Mhm.
and like, yep, just
Yeah.
simple. And, in the morning, afternoons, chill with Jill, do some slots. Every now and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to the tables because you can't have your phone out. I'm like, I'll find you later kind of thing. Um, usually I don't stay there too long, go back to her. But yeah, it's just, as long as you go expecting to lose, it'll be fun. But if, yeah, like you said, if you
Mhm.
go and you're losing your bankroll and you lose your mortgage or your rent, yeah, that's a problem. So,
And that's where I was, in my early 20s, early, like around 23, 24 years old. There was too much, I had too much to lose in the money that I was putting into it. And so when I took a loss, it would like damage me emotionally because I had it in my head that maybe I could make a living off of grinding, which you just can't. Like, because if you're playing cash, I mean, you're just playing for 12, 13 hours and you're playing tight the whole time. Like, I like to play games. And I like to folding is actively not playing. I know it's like the strategy and stuff, but I like to play and
mm,
I like to be part of things. And if I'm watching other people play, it gets really fucking grindy. And then I will, out of boredom, play like a 9-7 offsuit just because I want to play. And that's that.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well, again, like I
lots of
said,
poker
I
games.
mean, if you're ever in the mood, yeah, I will take a trip down there with you, and we will get you that fucking card. I don't know if you can do it online, but that's
I think you can. I tried. But
yeah,
no.
I don't know because I think I had to do it, but once you get that card and get it all situated, yeah, you get free hotels pretty much outside of like summer and Friday and Saturdays, which is kind of expected. But like I said, I've already looked and I
Yeah.
could book it for that week. I'm just gonna make sure with work and Jill has off that week. But I'm like, yeah, we'll
Yep.
go down there Sunday to Friday, February. We'll get the one with the pool and just have a good time and just not worry about shit for a week. So, oh.
Sounds nice.
Anyhow, Soto, this weekend kind of took us a little while to get here. I don't
We
know how
did.
much of this I'm gonna watch, but for the first time in WWE history, they have a 2 night SummerSlam.
Oh, this is the
SummerSlam,
first time.
first
Oh,
time for 2 nights. Yes,
wow. I
and
thought this was normal.
no, WrestleMania was normal. I say normal. They WrestleMania they've done 2 nights since COVID. I think they had to because they could not. The WrestleMania before COVID was almost a 7.5 hour show, and that's not even
Hell
including everything.
no.
Yeah, but that thing about the
Hell
people,
no.
yeah, I mean, I think because that was the first time a woman main evented. It was like Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey, and they went on at like 11:30. Like I think if I remember reading correctly, they ended at like 12:30. So I think they went on at midnight. And I mean, it's
That's
hard the energy in
fucking
the room. So
crazy.
COVID obviously,
No.
I will admit, COVID helped them because they're like, we can just do 2 nights, and it helps. You get almost double the ticket price, double all this. So yeah, this is the first time SummerSlam's doing it. I know I'm gonna
I like
probably
the
watch.
Saturday ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got one tonight, 7 matches tonight, and some tomorrow. But I
Mhm.
know we don't need to go through every match, because I know there's some that you're just like I don't care, or you probably don't even know. But
I mean,
what?
the only one that I don't, there's one that I don't care about, and I'm sure you're going to talk about it.
Uh oh, is it a main event one? All right. So real quick, let's do this Soto. How he can. Let's look at night one. I'm just gonna quickly say because we
Okay.
we don't need to talk about it, and I'm gonna kind of go through from what they have listed
Mhm.
here. So first match, I mean, it's not. This might not be in order, but Sami Zayn and Karrion Cross
Sure, I'm interested ish.
ish. But there you go, the ish. This feud has been
Yeah.
going on a while. But it's a weird,
But like
yeah.
I've heard a lot about Sami Zayn. I don't know a lot about Sami Zayn. I know he's uh he's been taken into the tribe or something like that, even though he's not Samoan.
That was
But
his
I've heard
big,
a lot of
yeah.
right. But I know I've heard a lot about him. I've heard people say he should be a champ. So now I'm like, okay, Sami Zayn, show me what's up. And I like Karrion Cross. I think he might be Puerto Rican too. So that's kind of interesting. None of these, I will say this right now, none of these matches interest me as much as Evolution did. I'm gonna put that out on there right now. So continue.
No, no, and like I again, I wasn't gonna waste time with this, but Sami Zayn is you might like Kevin Owens. Those two were friends. They grew up in the Indies together. They're actually best friends in real life. Sami Zayn has more of the underdog look to him. Yes, he was big in the bloodline. Hilarious. So yes, one of the best currently to not ever have a world championship. So this could get him on his way. But the shit he does in the ring, like he's good. Carrying it, so it's a match, but they've done this match a few times. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
again, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This is because Seth Rollins
Mm-hmm.
is injured, because I think Seth Rollins was
Yeah.
supposed to fight Roman Reigns, like he was supposed to at WrestleMania, so we're still not getting that payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, I just want to see how well Braun Breaker does, but overall, I'll wait till the shenanigans at the end. Like, tell me what happened, because
Sure.
that seems like a shenanigans type match, but could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women's tag team match, the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Flair and Bliss have been
Yeah.
hilarious together, but that's a match I can't predict because I would say
Mm-hmm.
almost keep the Judgment Day tags. But again, I love Alexa Bliss. I think a lot of her. I know you haven't seen a lot of her earlier stuff, but she was so great in the ring, and some of the shit she did with Bray Wyatt was great. Here's one that I know you don't care about, but you'll have an opinion about.
You're right. You're
Randy
right. I don't.
Orton,
But yes.
Randy Orton and
Yes.
Jelly Roll versus Drew
Oh God
McIntyre,
Almighty.
and McIntyre is back in the States, so he will be here. I don't know if you heard that. He actually
I
was
like Drew.
stuck
I
in
like.
Scott, and he's
I
teaming
did
with,
see that on his Instagram.
but
Yep.
he is back, and he's teaming with Logan Paul. Um, I guess a proper use for a celebrity on like the Travis Scott shit, but what are your thoughts? I mean, first of all, what are your
I
thoughts
like
about
Randy
Jelly
Orton and Drew
Roll?
McIntyre, but
Jelly Roll's
Jelly
wrestling.
Roll, like I have zero interest in watching Jelly Roll fucking wrestle. But I guess I mean, how I've watched wrestling all my life, so of course I've seen plenty of celebrity bullshit. I mean, fuck, David Arquette won the WCW championship, so um, I don't know. I remember this is the match that I was alluding to, where I'm like, I really don't care about this match at all. This
Mm-hmm.
might be a bathroom match. Is that what you call that?
Bathroom break. Yep, this is your bathroom break.
Really, there's not really a whole lot going on this card that I'm looking at right now. Besides. what you'll talk about. What the matches that you're gonna like mention, I have somewhat interest in them.
But yeah, I could care less. I again, it's a match like this is something I want to go back and watch. I'll watch the ending. I feel like it's a typical celebrity match. Like with Logan Paul when he first started, I felt like
Yeah,
he, love him or hate him, he put in the work to look and be more of a WWE wrestler, almost more so than any celebrity.
yeah, no,
But no,
yeah,
no.
you're
But
right.
if you look at his moves,
You're right.
like
You're right.
so
You're right.
I can give him credit. Whereas Jelly Roll, like he's going to
Hmm.
come in, do this match, most likely get the win. Because I do not see anything long term for Jelly Roll. He just is like whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, I like most fans, they're just hoping he doesn't pin Drew McIntyre. But either way, I'm not. I could care less. I don't know I didn't know who Jelly Roll is. I still technically don't. I like Orton. I like McIntyre. But overall, this
Yeah.
match is just going to be a celebrity. Get to the Orton versus McIntyre. That's what we want to see. Um,
Yeah. I just want to see somebody get RKO'd. I'm sure I will.
oh yeah, you definitely 100% will. Everyone's getting RKO'd. Maybe even Jelly Roll.
Out
Maybe
of nowhere.
Randy Orton sometimes goes crazy. Um,
I'm just happy that Pat McAfee is no longer a part of this. Can I just say that? I know I'm going to
quiet.
say that every
Quiet.
single time we
He
talk
might.
about
You never know.
wrestling,
He
but
might come back. You never know.
I
Just
know. But for now, it's
it
quiet.
is.
I'm
It
going to
is.
enjoy the moment.
Yeah, no, I love Wade Barrett
He's
as well.
terrible. He is absolutely terrible.
Um,
So
there's a women's championship match: Tiffany Stratton versus Jade
yeah,
Cargill. Um,
which I like Jade Cargill.
yeah, she'll probably finally win it. I just feel like they haven't really built this up. So it's again, like if I had to put money on it, I'm like, this is almost like one of the few matches which is almost guaranteed you can tell who's going to win. You never know, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, again, not excited for this match, but Jade will get the win, and we'll see what happens next. So the one match I'm intrigued about more so than probably
Mhm.
the main event of night two, although that might have changed with last night's SmackDown. Gunther versus CM Punk. This was
Mhm.
actually supposed to be a WrestleMania match. I don't. There's this new show on Netflix which I only seen highlights of, where they're like, oh,
Oh,
people love it or hate
Unreal or
it.
whatever.
Yeah, where they're showing the
Hmm.
board. Um, Punk deserves to be in high profile matches, but the point I'm trying to make is more what's going the fuck on with Seth Rollins, because
I know.
people are like,
That's what I'm thinking
oh,
about too when I
people are
see
like,
this match.
oh, this is just a swerve. I'm like, and I've seen him outside to his daughter's, whatever, and he's got crutches, and they're like, well, he said as long as he breathes, Punk will never be champion. But I'm like, if Seth Rollins can
That's what I
wrestle,
was going to say. How can he let CM Punk like
because I don't
possibly
think he
win
planned on getting
the
injured.
championship?
But here's the other
Oh
thing too.
God.
That Punk, first of all, there's two ways to screw Punk. He can come out and not even cash in. He can just trip either way. Um,
Sure.
but
Yeah. Like regular
Rollins,
shenanigans.
if Rollins could wrestle, this is why. This is not like a B premium live event. This is one of their major ones. Like if he was able to wrestle, you don't think they would promote the match like him against Roman Reigns, like a match like Seth. So could it happen? Of course, anything can fucking happen in Triple H's. And I've said it. I love CM Punk. I loved it since he started, just because he's from Chicago. But he's one of the best promo people to ever do it. Yes, he's a little older in the ring. He
Yeah.
can't do half the shit he used to do. But
Hmm.
you know what? He knows how to tell a story, and he will bring out the best in Gunther. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying Punk will win. This is almost a coin flip either way. The main question, like you said, is I'm just curious about the Seth Rollins. And people put in, here's the other now conspiracy. They said that's why they put that Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against Breaker and Reed on this card. Because if that match is tomorrow, Seth Rollins would have to show up. Like putting it on today with no Seth Rollins, people are still going to think he's not there. I don't know. Again,
Uh,
that there's not much
yeah.
I'm looking forward to.
Interesting.
It's more just I do want to just like I said how Gunther and Punk end. If anything, I think the match I would say I'm most excited about or curious about, I don't even know, would be the women's tag team because I just think Bliss and Flair are hilarious together, just as the odd couple. But outside that whatever, it'd be a good match. But night two, Soto, tomorrow's match
Mhm.
looks a
Yeah,
hell of a lot better. First of
it
all,
does. A
the
lot better.
TLC match, 6 tag teams in the
Yeah.
TLC match. These teams are pissed because they were all left off the WrestleMania card. Because I don't know if you remember this or knew this. The SmackDown titles were not fought on WrestleMania. They had the Raw titles in a match like New Day versus Viking Experience or whatever War Raiders, whatever the fuck they're called
The
now.
Viking experience. Yeah.
That's what Vince McMahon called them. Vince McMahon
Yeah,
called.
I know.
I forgot they went back, but anyhow, which they're good teams, but SmackDown had like more stories, more teams. So this to me, I want to see this match. I think there's going to be so many fucking high spots. I don't even care who wins. I like. I'm not even like whatever. Show
Yeah.
me a great match, but with the people involved, I'm like, this is going to be insane. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I 12 people in
Way
TLC.
TLC match. I've never seen that. Yeah, no, that should be. That sounds interesting. That sounds way more interesting than tonight.
Oh yeah. Um, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Just backstage segments have been hilarious with AJ Styles, but again, I feel like Dominic will keep it. But I'm not saying I need to watch
Yeah,
it.
AJ Styles is like towards the end of his career, isn't he?
Correct. Yeah. Oh, he wrestled for TNA for years. Blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, again, should be a decent match with the two involved. And people joke now that Dominic Mysterio has been showing up in Mexico's AAA. I'm like, he should defend the
Mm-hmm.
belt there. That's the definition of intercontinental belt. Like he could,
Literally, yeah.
because like Pat, the original
Yeah.
one, supposedly Pat Patterson won it in like a Puerto Rican tournament or something, or Portugal. I don't know where, but it was a made up tournament.
Yeah.
So, but that's what it was supposed to be. But either way, a match
Continent.
that
Yeah.
could surprise people, depending on how they do it. Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu in a steel cage. 100% shenanigans in this match. You just know it. But
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu is so over that he could just pull it off.
I like Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa is just so boring to me.
Well, it might change. He's kind of more hilarious, but yeah, we'll see because he's got his whole bloodline. The
Yeah.
Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyrie, they put on bangers, so that actually should be a good match. I don't care who wins. What should be maybe outside the TLC the match of the night: Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea
Yeah.
Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi should keep it. She just won it. I don't foresee her losing it after cashing in and being one of the big heels. But Ripley, Io,
Yeah.
Bianca Belair at WrestleMania was one of the best matches. And then, as you saw with Evolution, and you mentioned this Ripley versus Io Sky, probably one of the best matches of the year. So if Naomi
That's
can
one of
keep
the best
up the
matches I've seen in a long time.
ah,
That
no,
was that was an awesome match. From beginning to end, it was like a work of art. It was great.
but like I said before, Ripley's and Sky's chemistry.
Mhm.
If you ever do watch the Mae Young Classic, their first matchup was in I think the second year, 2017, and you could already tell. I mean, it's not as good as these because those are the beginnings, but still good. But then the final match: John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. John Cena kind of returned as a
Yeah.
face last night. He made a huge face promo, and
Ew.
yeah, well, they had to do it because he's not going to end his career as a heel. And this
The
is the
face
time.
promo like on SmackDown or some shit.
Yeah, and the fans are still behind
Why?
him because I think people think Cody Rhodes is turning heel. This is a street fight.
So,
'Cause-
so dumb.
well, what was hilarious part of the whole thing he said is he almost. I think his final match might be against The Rock because he almost badmouthed The Rock without saying his name. But he also looked at Cody and he said, "The only platinum rapper that's going to whoop your ass Sunday night will be me." Because they're basically saying Travis Scott's not coming, which because everyone fucking hated Travis Scott in the WrestleMania program because it was fucking stupid.
That was terrible.
It was a celebrity thing that should not. And originally, I don't think Travis Scott was supposed to be there. He was supposed to be with Rey Mysterio, like like almost being
Yeah.
a valet to
No
him.
thanks.
But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not interested in the match itself. I just want to see what happens at the end. So,
Mm.
but obviously you're looking forward to the women's match because I know you're a huge Rhea Ripley fan. But it should be
Yep.
2
That's
nights.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah, 2
I'll be
nights.
watching that on Monday. Monday when I wake up, I'll probably turn this on because I'll be at a concert on Sunday night. But I'll
Yeah.
definitely be watching this one tonight for sure.
Yeah, I'll probably have it on and slowly pay attention. Like I don't know if I'll have it like on the main TV. Depends on the match. Like a couple matches, I'm like, all right. Like hard part is like, I don't want to watch the Jelly Roll match. I'm just curious how bad it's gonna be. So part of me is like, do I want to watch
I'm
this?
curious.
Yeah,
I'm definitely curious.
but yeah, 2 nights of SummerSlam. They're gonna check it out, see how it works, and yeah, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, no, this is the first time they've done it, so we'll see. But
All
Soto.
right. Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it next Saturday.
We will. We definitely will. Good or bad, we will talk about it. So Soto, I kind of threw out a challenge for you. Or at least something
I
fun
did.
to do. And yeah, because I've seen this across, TikTok, YouTube, and people like creating like WrestleMania cards, like pay-per-view cards with their favorite wrestlers, WWE versus WCW or now AEW, blah blah blah. And I kind of had this crazy, stupid idea. I'm like, what if we somehow created our own cards, but used movie characters? Like not
Right.
like what would our 5 match card be? And I think the only rule I kind of like I said is they have to be human. Because like I don't want to,
Mhm.
I mean we've seen Alien versus Predator, whatever. I'm like just human characters, not like John Travolta, but it has to be whatever. And maybe we can discuss this, and if this works out or it's funny to us, maybe we'll do a horror themed one, theme it out. But I asked like let's try
Mhm.
and do 5 matches. I'm like try and get a women's match, tag match, but then at the end like whatever you might find. Um, but I got a
Mhm.
question for you. So
Yeah.
you created a lot of matches. What was your thought process when you started thinking about doing this? Like again, because I asked
My
you, I'm like, is
thought.
this stupid? Should we do this? You know what I'm saying? But you know,
Yeah, everything we
what
do
was your
is a little.
say what?
Said everything we do has got a little bit of stupidness in it.
True, but I guess when
I
you
mean,
heard it, like, what was your thought trying to go into figuring this out?
I don't know. It seemed to make sense because we've done like Royal Rumbles with this. Like what we put on YouTube where it's like Royal Rumbles with like characters and shit. So it kind of felt like it was in the same vein. So it was kind of fun. I do my best thinking like when I'm about to fall asleep, oddly enough, as I've texted you some random weird shit as I'm about to fall asleep at times. And so yeah, like I just over a couple of nights of thinking about it, like I just started thinking to myself, okay, yeah, like this sounds good. I mean, wasn't there a show we used to watch that was like, I want to say it was like Celebrity
Deathmatch.
Deathmatch?
Yep, and so they
Um,
animated, and I actually got to
yeah,
deliver.
it
Yeah.
reminded me of that. So, and I was like, yeah, sure, I can come up with some movie characters that I'd love to see in a match. And who knows, maybe we could recreate it. Uh, our little wrestling thing that
Well,
we do as well,
I would
but I'm
have
sure we
it.
can do it
All
for everything.
depends if the characters are there. I mean, I will say this: like I think I told you so. We still got 3 or 4 that we can do. We haven't. I know we did the Rotten Taste men's,
In
the
the
Rotten Taste
chamber.
in the chamber, and because we did the Rotten Taste men's, Rotten Taste
Mhm.
women's. I felt like we did a third one. Didn't we do a third one? Or am I just?
It's been so long.
I know. I felt like there was another. Oh, we did an NFL one. Oh my God, the O.J. Simpson. I forgot about that one.
Oh, how could I forget about that
The
one? Yeah, that one had a
NFL.
very controversial ending, if I recall. Well, a controversial participant, if I recall
Correct.
correctly.
Yeah, your reaction to that was so perfect. I'm like, I've done my job.
Mm.
Like that's all I needed. I could have cared
Mhm.
less about anything else.
Mhm.
And I
You
felt
went
like
there. You went
we
there.
did. Hardcore was like I was just trying to go through what W because this was 2K24 what they had and make it work. Um,
Yep.
and then yeah, so and then when I saw him, like I said, I debated. Like it obviously I pulled the trigger, but I was just sitting there like oh, do I do this? Do I do this? Do I do this? And then I'm like, fuck it, time to
You
do it.
made the right choice.
I
You made the right choice.
so anyhow,
It
so
was the correct choice.
correct. So we could always, I mean, if we have time, do it. But I think this way we can kind of just talk it through, book it out. So out of
Yeah.
curiosity, we'll start with you. I don't know, we'll go
Mhm.
back and forth, or you know what? Let's do your whole card. We'll do your card first, then mine. That way, you kind of have it
Yeah,
fresh
sure.
in mind.
Ask me. Yeah, just
So
ask me.
tell me,
Yeah.
so we're in a pitch meeting right now. We're there.
Yeah.
What's the first match you want to talk about that's on your Movie Mania card? That's what you called it. I saw the thought. I'm like Movie Mania. Here we are. What's your
Well, this one, this one's my first stipulation match, and it involves a ladder. So this is actually going to be a ladder match. It's actually going to be called a lights and ladder match.
Ooh,
And the
okay.
goal will be whoever will win is whoever gets to the top of this ladder and plugs in the Christmas lights. And yes, this is a match between Elf and Clark Griswold. This is a lights and
Oh,
ladder match. And it's a little early for Christmas, but given,
oh,
Clark Griswold's and Elf's like, very similar height sizes and everything, I think this is, and obviously Clark's, penchant for Christmas lights, I think that this would be a perfect stipulation match with a ladder that I would love to watch. So this is my first match that I am presenting for
All right, so
booking.
okay,
I
now
think it
this
would.
is like I said, there's anything we can do, Chris. So all right, so now let me ask you, who would win? Like if you got Elf, you got
Who would
who would
win?
win? Like if you don't have
Right.
to like give like step by step, moves and stuff, but how would you see the ending go? Who would go over? Because I'll be honest, I haven't even thought this through on all mine, because I just kind of play. But like if we think about this, who would win in
Yeah.
Elf versus Clark Griswold? Holy shit!
I think Clark's going to take the biggest bumps. Because he's shown that he can. I think ultimately the Spirit of Christmas will win and Elf will win this match. But I think Clark Griswold will, you'll see him falling off of things, terrible things, and it'll be like the same ladder he uses in Christmas Vacation, like an aluminum one. But I'd have to give the edge to Elf. I think that again, he'll get all the hype for taking the bumps, but I think that for a face turn, I think it'd be good for Elf to win. But that's my opinion on it.
I can see that. He has probably the most Christmas spirit out of any movie character that I can think
Does
of, at least offhand. So, all right, a lights and ladder
so
match. That is very
lights and
great.
ladders.
Lights and I love it. I will be honest, Soto. That is brilliant. I do not have. I do have a gimmick match, a couple of them, but I don't have anything like that. So no, that is well done. I applaud that thinking. That you know what Dave
Yes.
Meltzer probably gives that a three. That's a 3-star match because no
Yeah.
a bump. All
Yeah.
right, all
Yeah.
right. No, that's a good one. That's a good solid ladder match. Okay, lights and ladder.
Mhm.
All right, what's your
Lights and
next match?
ladders,
All
baby.
right, what's your second match of the night
Second match of the night.
or of your
It's
card? I
actually
should
going
say.
to be of my card is going to be I think my women's match. I think it fits in good here, and we talked about this, but no stipulations. But it's the Bride versus Lilu Dallas from Fifth Element. Um, I
Yeah.
think that has an ability to be some high flying spots, some good stuff. Both are great fighters. Mila Jovovich versus Uma Thurman. I think that would be great. So I think
I
that'd be a great match, and I think the Bride won one of our rumbles, right? Or she was closer. I recall that
no, yeah,
correctly. If I'm
no,
totally
she didn't win because yeah, Ray Skywalker pulled that off. But the bride, so I think the bride
oh
came out
no,
early and she was dominant.
yes,
If I know
she
I'll have to go
was.
back and rewatch that. Yeah, so Ray Skywalker, she's the one that won our 30 man or 30 woman rumble. She came in at number 30, but the
Mhm.
bride, yeah, the bride came out, or I think one or two, and dominated early. So I think that's why she's more fresh in the mind. But so
Mhm.
you thinking the bride would win this then? Or who would you book? I'm just gonna look. This is a
Jeez,
tough
she's
one.
kind of unstoppable. Like, because like fucking Lilu is the fifth element. I
This is
mean,
true.
she's pretty much a celestial being. So I really can't imagine. The bride is like she never loses either. I can't imagine the bride losing. Although she did lose the once, uh, which started the whole movie. When she gets shot in the head. I don't know. I kind of feel like that Lilu would win this. It's
Okay.
because again, she's literally the fifth element. That's my thought.
All right. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
Bride's kind of a heel too, low key heel. The
She would
bride,
make a great
you know,
heel. She's pissed.
she's low key
Who knows?
heels. I mean, she kills people. She's not a good, as she said in the movie. She's like, I'm not a good person.
No. All right. Interesting matchup. All right. What's
Mhm.
your next match?
So my next match is a tag team match,
Oh,
and it is a tag team. It's a brothers versus brothers match
holy shit.
from my favorite director. So this would be the Vega brothers versus the Gecko brothers from Dusk Till Dawn. So George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino versus fucking John Travolta and Mr. Madsen there. So yeah, so Mr. Blonde and Vince Vega versus the Gecko brothers, which puts Tarantino into that match too, and which obviously he has a lot to do with both movies. But yeah, I think that would be a great tag team match.
Okay, I'm now gonna have to change one of mine, and luckily I have one backup. I had a tag team match as well,
Oh
and I was
yeah.
trying to figure this out, and this is the only reason I'm putting it out there. I also had Vincent and Vic Vega teaming up,
Oh nice.
but I did not think about the Gecko Brothers from Dust to Dawn. I
You
when
haven't
it
seen it.
I say what?
You haven't seen From Dusk Till
Oh
Dawn,
yeah, I
right?
have. Of
Or
course I
no?
have.
Oh
Oh yeah, I
no,
have.
it was you were talking about the other day about Until Dawn. That's what you have.
Until
You
Dawn.
had
Yeah, yeah.
mixed
I'm
up the
like, of
two of them.
course I've seen from Dust to Dawn, but did that? So the brothers I had them facing the Vega brothers. I went with a different
Mhm.
movie, which I think you have a very hateful relationship with, if I remember correctly. I've had a few friends love this and a few friends hate it. I think you're, and we haven't really talked about it, but I don't know. I had to find brothers, and this popped up, and I just, again, I haven't really thought this through, but I have them facing Connor and Murphy McManus, the Boondock Saints.
Oh my god! Of course you did. I hate this movie so
I know you
much.
do.
It's funny. I love Norman Reedus now. I love Norman Reedus. Although Norman Reedus is so Norman Reedus right now, I love Norman Reedus. But boy, do I have a stark hatred for Boondock Saints.
So
I,
that was my
I
initial
don't
tag team
hate it
match,
as much as I used to, but oh my god, that movie made me mad.
but I was trying to
Holy
find a
shit! But
pair of brothers who
people
could
love
put
it.
up a fight, and I would just think this would be a doghouse kind of fight. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I will I luckily I kind of have I know I told you a separate match, so I will do a different match. But I laugh because right when you said Vin
Well,
and
no, no,
I'm like
no. Why don't we
I'm
do a
like I had to
three-way?
put Quentin Tarantino in here as well. Um,
You can have a three-way match between all those
that
brothers. You
is
know what I
true.
mean? Like Gecko Brothers, and then add that in there, and it's like, boom, all set.
All right, so if we did a triple threat, triple tag team tornado because they're all in,
Ooh.
which set of brothers would you actually think would win?
Oh,
Yeah, I kind of.
tough. I would lean the Boondock Saints. That's my first thought. Um, yeah, that's how I feel. Vega Brothers, yeah, I don't know.
They have the experience, but I feel like they are older. I mean, I guess it
Yeah,
depends on when they go. Well, here was my thought. Because you're right. I mean, if this is one team against one team, I might be with you. But something tells me the Gecko Brothers, because they would just kind of wait for their moment
they're resourceful. They're
and
very
then
resourceful.
pounce on them. Like,
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, and let if
Well,
you if you're the
good
McManus
point.
brothers, you need the rope. The rope is just the magical saving grace. But they might not have the rope. So
Yeah,
I was like, I'm looking at, 'em like, yeah, their Gecko brothers are crazy. I mean, we know, the younger one,
they're
Tarantino, is
very
just
crazy. The
well. So
younger one is very crazy.
in a one-on-one team matchup, they might lose, but here they might wait and just. I would say Gecko brothers in this one, but you know what? I can see a point. The McManus brothers are the younger, probably the better fighters out of all six. Just hand
Mhm.
combat, obviously not guns. So, but yeah, I did have Vinny and Vic Vega in my. I had to, like, I had to put Tarantino somewhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's match these two up. They have to for no other reason. But all right, that's a good
Absolutely.
matchup. That ended up being an interesting matchup. All right, what's your fourth match?
Well, this one is it's a fourth match. Okay.
Because yeah, you just did three, right? Ladder match, women's match, and tag team. So you're on your fourth match, right?
Yes. Okay, so this would be like my sub main event, I guess leading
Yeah.
up to
If
it,
we were doing
right?
that, yep.
Yeah, so this next one would actually be Pee Wee Herman versus Billy Madison in a match.
Why
And I
did you?
think
All
that
right,
that
hold
would
on. I gotta ask. Why did you feel that these two needed to be matched up? I am a huge Pee Wee
because
Herman
they're
fan. They what?
because they're children.
Okay, you know what?
Because they're both children, and it'll be like just goofy as fuck, and or also be Pee Wee Herman kind of running around like scared, and Billy Madison just being drunk. But that was my thinking there.
I have to ask. Who would win? Who would you put over? I mean, I almost have to go for I personally, and I know we're just.
Yeah,
I might have to pick Pee Wee Herman. I might.
he's resourceful too.
He
Yeah,
is,
no,
and
I'm well. Billy Madison's drunk all the time.
that can hinder, but that can help.
That can
Depending.
also help. But yeah, no, I lean Pee Wee on this one, and he's also the face I think in the match. So I would lean a little bit Pee Wee, but yeah, just kind of like that. Billy Madison never grew up, and neither is Pee Wee Herman. He's definitely like I don't know the last time you saw that movie. I know I just saw it recently, but yeah, that was my match. I thought about a stipulation maybe where they would be using playground toys against each other or something like that, but decided to go because with the lights and the ladders thing, it just made sense. So yeah, Pee Wee versus Billy Madison with Pee Wee getting over somehow. I don't know. Maybe he would tag in his stunt double or the guy that played him in the movie with the beard. We'll see.
Very interesting. All right,
hmm
what would you do for your main event?
So my main event, and I think I'm starting off pretty good here. Well, I think I'm ending it pretty good. This is going to be known as the New York Hangover match. This is Detective John McClane versus Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon. And of course, John McClane would be showing up drunk to this and barefoot. I know he had a good showing in our Royal Rumbles that we had, but just him versus Martin Riggs, I think would be fucking hilarious. Just two crazy people going at it.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I told you I listed my shit in ChatGPT just to kind of remember some of my matches. But ChatGPT
hmm
kind of just gives you suggestions and taglines and stuff. And I think one that
Sure.
they threw in there, I think I told you, I said, yeah, they suggested one. I just hated it. I think they had McLean versus Rambo because they noticed the movie theme. Like, no, I don't want that shit. But they kind of put it in there, and I'm just like, no, I'm like, that's not part of my five. I'm like, I can't do it. But I kept McLean off. I thought about it for a little bit because I'm like, yeah, but
He
McLean.
was on a
So
rumble. He did good.
he
He did
did do
really good.
well. Um,
He did very well. Yeah. And then Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon, I think, both those guys are insane. I think yeah, it would be just great. Two resourceful dudes, as I've said.
and who's winning your main event?
Oh, I think I have to give it slight edge. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe nobody wins. But that'd be a shitty ending for a wrestling match, right? Where nobody wins. Double DQ, something like
Yeah,
that.
this is that's like WrestleMania 1-2 shit right there. I mean,
I know, right? 'Cause it's like not satisfying at all. Uh,
the question is you said McLean doesn't have his shoes? His shoes off? Like he's
and shoes
barefoot?
off, and he's a little hungover.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure they're both hungover. Don't get me wrong.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like John McClane should win.
I would too, but Rick's can get his shoulder dislocated and he can pop it back in if need be too.
Oh,
So
and he's
he can take it.
crazy. It's one of
That's true. Oh, that'd be interesting.
yeah. So
My
that's my main
thought, my
event. So,
my gut said McLean at first as well. So, oh,
I mean, is this better than what's happening on night one? I mean, parts of it are.
yeah, it's much
Like
better. We're we're
talk
we're
about.
making this shit up. This is our movie mania. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. In real life, I definitely watched some of these matches over what the fuck I mean, it's definitely better than the jelly roll match that I'm going to subject myself to. But hopefully, I am very drunk tonight, Chad. And I may have said this before on previous podcasts. I'll continue to say it moving forward. But I have not watched wrestling since I started drinking alcohol until it premiered on Netflix earlier this year, whatever it is that I just started watching again.
Yep,
That was the
January.
first time that I actually cracked a beer and watched wrestling. And I'll tell you, alcohol and wrestling, it to me is like a match made in heaven. It puts me right where I need to be. If I'm having a couple beers and I'm watching, I don't know why I never did this before, but boy, oh boy, it makes wrestling awesome when I'm just getting hammered. And that's probably what's going to happen tonight. That's the only way I'm going to get through that jelly roll shit.
Oh my god. Hopefully it's not well. If it's the first match, you might be gone quickly. All right, Soto. Let me
God, I only have only so much bourbon in my house.
let me tell you my five matches are now 4.5. Luckily, I had kind of a backup, which I already told you. But you know what? I am going to start off with also a ladder match. Um, well, this is actually a TLC match, and just because the very first TLC match between Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian happened on SummerSlam back in I think whatever 1999, 2000, whatever it was. Um, and obviously in honor for the TLC match, but I also kind of went the comedic duo route. So I got three
Mhm.
teams, Soto. I got Bill and Ted.
3 teams.
Bill and Ted.
Oh God.
Excellent. Yes.
Wow.
Team
Yep.
one versus Jay and Silent Bob
Mhm.
versus
Oh my
Lloyd
Jesus Christ.
Lloyd and Harry from Dumb and Dumber.
This is basically your 200 movie challenge, like match right
Yes.
here.
Yes. You know,
Like this is this is
I
the fight for the mid 30s.
no, no.
Who will be
Let me
who will have the best 30 ranked movie in here?
I was just
Oh
trying
my
to think of
God.
like I was thinking of tag teams, and obviously Bill and Ted came up first, Jay and Silent Bob, and
Yeah.
yes, I remember Dumb and
Yeah.
Dumber, and I'm like, all right, I can't go way crazy. I'm sure I could have added 4, 5, 6 teams. I mean, hell, I could have just done Bill and Ted and Jay and Silent Bob, but I'm like, I gotta have Lloyd and Harry. I think this match would be hilarious. I think
Lloyd.
there'd be a lot of
Yeah.
comedic spots. Um, if
Mhm.
we're talking about resourcefulness, I would think Jay and Silent Bob would pull this one off. Silent Bob would somehow
You
just
think so?
now. Yeah. So out of these three teams, I think.
I wouldn't underestimate Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey's kind of got some heel
But
energy,
Lloyd,
you know.
he would be the heel in this matchup, but I don't know. Was it enough to climb the ladder and grab the belt? Because I don't have a lights and ladder match, so I don't have anything interesting at the top. It
Plug
was
the
just
Chris.
like I just called it a TLC match. Now that you said lights and ladder, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to up my game if we do this a second time around. Um,
It felt right.
it,
That's
you
why
know
I
what?
let
No,
off
no, it
with
was perfect. There's not much more I can say outside of that. But so real quick, ChatGPT, they kept throwing taglines after this, and I have to read this one out of any of them.
yeah.
It's like Bill and Ted versus Jay and Silent Bob versus Lloyd and Harry, and this is comedy chaos unleashed, air guitarist, stoner hijinks, and dumb luck galore. I'm like, I don't know why. I think that's how Bill and
That
Ted will
sounds like
lose.
ChatGPT.
They'll be like, doing air guitar, and Lloyd will just push him off. But yes, that is my TLC
Yeah.
match. Um,
Wow. That sounds like chaos personified.
that's what we want. We just want entertainment. My next
Yeah.
match was going to
Uh,
be the tag team match, but obviously kind of threw that in there. So I will really quick. I only had one women's match, but I know I told you this. I was thinking of something instead of
oh
like
yeah.
not something called last, because they have last man standing matches, which now they've done last woman standing. And I'm like, you know what?
Mhm.
Because what I was trying to do was get like a little of every genre into this card. The only thing I couldn't really think of was like a love story. I'm like, fuck that. Um, like I gotta add a little horror, and I was like, so I called it the final girl standing, and I thought of a few,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to keep throwing out like triple threats because I had the TLC match, so I was trying to think of
Of
maybe the most
course.
popular two, but I went Laurie Strode versus Sydney Prescott from Scream.
I mean, yeah, that's legendary
Nancy
right
from
there.
Nightmare on Elm Street was in the running for me because I do like her in those movies,
Mhm.
but I just felt Laurie Strode and Sydney Prescott were in more and more of a presence in the overall series. Uh,
Generational.
yeah,
Generational.
because you're
Generational.
correct. You got the
Yeah.
80s versus 2000. Well, actually, whatever, 90s, late
Late
90s.
70s,
That's true too.
right?
78. Yeah, Mike Myers was 70 because I 77, 78. No, that was 78. But you know what I mean. Either way, I just felt
Yeah,
like
of
they were two of
course.
the more famous final girls. Um, as much, you know, if we're booking who I would want to win, or if I'm going by who I think would win, this would be more difficult. But I feel, in a weird way, Sydney Prescott is a. It's just the shit she went through with the multiple ghost face. Whereas Laurie Strode just,
Mhm.
I think this would be a great battle. But I would say Sydney Prescott might pull this one off because she's not, whereas Laurie
Yeah.
Strode had to deal with one Michael Myers who was scary as shit. Sydney Prescott had to deal with five. Now, yeah, five different ghost face. Well, 6, 7, depending if you count duos. But you know what I mean. Whatever it is. So,
Mhm. I like that.
but yeah, that was my backup match. So like because I wasn't sure about if you had someone like the same women's match as me. I was like, I'll throw this into the back. So that was kind of my backup one. So third
Mhm.
match, I kind of also went with suspense horror a little bit because this one popped in my head late, and I couldn't really if I would have thought of it, maybe different ones. But so I did a Hell in a Cell match. Now, if I was creative like you, I'm definitely
Wow.
sure I would have done something different. Oh, I went all out. Well, this is my last real stipulation match, but it's just because of the people involved. I went with
Ah.
Jack Torrance from The Shining
Oh, oh
versus
dear. This is a crazy one.
versus Hannibal Lecter.
Oh God, psychos.
That's why they need to be in Hell in a Cell. They cannot be flat out. I like originally it was
Damn.
just like, oh, I'll just have a match. I'm like, no, I gotta put them in something. Um,
Oh,
I
shit, dude. I feel like I gotta give the I gotta give the edge to Hannibal Lecter on that.
I feel like that too. I did, but I was trying to think of something like if Jack goes too crazy, but then I'm like, no, Lecter is smart. That's he was just
Very
very
smart.
he's very
Major heel.
deliberate in everything he
Like an
does.
intelligent heel. Yeah,
Whereas Jack
intelligent
might
heel.
have more of the strength. Yeah, I think he'll come out
Hmm.
swinging, but I think sooner or later, like I said, Jack's just insane. Just everything. He'll just go all out, and Hannibal Lecter will just wait and just find his moment. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
I feel like Lecter will
Yeah,
win,
I
but I
think
feel like
so.
this would be a good match. Um,
Yeah. Okay. I like that match.
my women's championship match, I actually sent you like the picture of this, and I was just trying to think of two of the strongest women in movie history, and what popped up for me was Sarah Connor, Terminator 2 Sarah Connor. I want that one
Yeah.
versus
Yep.
Ellen Ripley, Aliens Ellen, more so than the first one. And obviously she was a robot in the fourth one.
This is a tough one.
So,
Tough one.
yeah, because
Yeah, she
again,
was a robot.
ChatGPT told me Ultimate Survivor versus the Ultimate Protector. That's how it built this one. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, Sarah Connor is protecting her son ish.
Ish, I know.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I
like
think they were thinking they kind of put in parentheses the first Terminator and the first Alien, but whatever. Uh, but
yeah.
I
Yeah.
my heart, if I had to pick, and this is just because I like the films better, I would pick Sarah Connor. Um,
Yeah, I think I
but
would too, because I mean she's just so like so fierce.
her
Tough to go
transformation
against Ripley though.
from the first to the second one, and even some of the later
Oh my
shittier ones,
god,
like,
dude.
but just the
Yeah.
mentality, everything she went through. Whereas I think Ellen Ripley, you're right. The first one, see, the first one, I would say she's more of a survivor than a protector. Obviously, she's just trying to get off the ship. But the second Aliens, but she also needed that mega fucking suit. So you know what, I would give Connor the win here. I mean, but you know what, this would just be a match, kind of like Ripley versus Io Sky. Just sit back and enjoy, because no matter what, we all win. Um,
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
so for my main event, it's another kind of in a way old school versus new school, even though one could be considered both. And this is one I wish I would have thought of a little bit more, but I just like it too much. But I have
Mhm.
John Wick versus
Ooh.
James Bond. I know
Which
how you
James
feel
Bond?
about Bond, but that's a little. I at first I had I think it was John Wick versus Jason Bourne. I had Jason Bourne in it at first. I'm like, no, I gotta put in Bond. I love James Bond.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I had a slot, and
Yep.
I didn't want to do another triple match. I'm like, um, this is one that yes, we kind of joke about. Yeah, John Wick, just fucking amazing. The shit he can do.
Mhm.
I would feel James Bond's more resourceful. Not saying John Wick isn't resourceful. I guess it
Oh,
depends what's
he's
allowed
killed
in the
so
match.
many people.
This is true.
He's killed so many people. Like he'll literally walk into a building filled with people and is like, "I'm gonna kill every single person here," and everyone in the building is like, "Yep, he is."
Yep, and that's why they fear him. I don't know. I just thought it would be a fun matchup. I mean, I would say John Wick would win, but like I said, my heart, I would give it to James Bond. If I was just booking it just for some
Yeah, James
reason.
Bond has like gadgets and stuff like that,
True,
and
but
he's a good
it's
guy.
it
You'd
depends.
be the face in this situation. Oh.
If it was no DQ, the gadgets, this is just a regular wrestling match. I mean, yes, I could just make it no DQ, and who knows what the fuck they would do to each other. But yeah, I was just like, I just have to have these two guys. I don't know why. I just thought, yeah, an assassin and a spy just in one match. Or what this says, the ultimate showdown. We'll see. But yeah, that was kind of my main event. I'm like, you know what? Either one of
I
them could
like
be
that.
champion of my
Like one too.
movie mania card, and I'd be happy. So
The champion. Two straight up assassins. Like, I mean, fuck. Like, James Bond has a license to kill, for God's sakes.
he does. He does. And John Wick just
Mhm.
kills. Don't kill his fucking dog. He'll kill all of you.
He
Oh,
was just trying to fucking lead a quiet, normal life, but somebody just had to fuck with his dog and then also fuck with his ridiculously awesome car. And he spends the next 4 or 5 movies, whatever it ends up being, killing everybody because of that. The dog was so cute.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll save the second, third, and fourth one for the movie challenge. They're still free. Don't know. But anyhow, Soto, that's going to do it for another live podcast for us. Unless there's anything else you want to
Yeah.
add, unless you have like a last minute addition to a card that you want to talk about, or you can save it, pocket it for a future episode if we do this again. But yeah, SummerSlam this weekend, and you have a concert
Yeah.
on Sunday,
Nice.
so I won't spoil anything for SummerSlam for you. I mean, I'm sure you'll
Don't,
probably.
and I won't go on social media.
It's
So
probably
I will
smart.
not be. I
Just
will not be
just go
going on social media
straight to
until
your
I get
matches
home.
that you want to see. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna open up Peacock as soon as I get home on Monday morning from the hotel, and because Sarah will be like using Monday as a recovery day, and yeah, I will watch SummerSlam night 2. Don't text me about it. You'll hear
no,
from
I know
you'll
you'll
hear
be
from
at.
me quick.
Yeah, no, I know you'll be at the concert, so I mean, I won't say anything. Like I said, I don't know if I'll watch it live. Kind of like tonight, it might just be on the background. Um,
Yeah.
at least for like tonight. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I kind of just I'll see some. I want to see some highlights. It's really just a punk hunt there, and it's only because of the curiosity that they've drawn up, and this is brilliant. Because if Seth Rollins is injured, honestly injured, which I still think he is, they've done a great job of just letting people think he's not. And that's what you want. You don't want
Oh yeah.
predictability in your
Oh
house.
my God.
Triple H is probably just like, oh, fuck it, this wasn't planned, but let's just roll with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's a happy accident. Yep.
so but that's what you want. So we'll see. But yeah, no, I tomorrow night, if there's, I mean, the women's triple threat's good, but I honestly just want to see that TLC match. 6 fucking teams, 12 people in one ladder match where you can have tables and chairs and anything goes. And with the
Yeah.
talent involved, like there's going to be so much insanity, and hopefully they do it right. But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of holy shit moments in that match. So that's the match I'm more looking forward to, just because they deserved the premium live event because they didn't get the WrestleMania. So anyhow,
Mm-hmm.
that'll do it for us for another week. We will be back next week. Who knows what we'll be talking about? I know there's some football this week. You know, you got your concert, and we're gonna probably talk SummerSlam, but you never know what will pop up. So either way, we're rolling into fantasy football. That's the most exciting part for us right now, which is kind of sad and
Here we
funny.
go.
It's coming.
It begins. Oh,
Begins.
it begins. We're at the very precipice, and I'm gonna start my mock drafts.
I've already paid my
This
dues.
weekend, and I'm gonna do my shit. So, oh, you paid your dues?
I,
Nice,
I, I,
awesome.
I tend to try and get things out of the way right away. It popped up on that, so I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'll get it done. But anyhow, that'll do it for this week. Again, if you're listening on Spotify, or if you made it to the end on YouTube, or just jump to the end, leave a comment. Just give us a topic. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
More or less just because, we want a little engagement. We want to see, is one person even listening, Soto? One.
just one.
Just
Are
one.
you out there?
No, they're not.
They're not.
All right. We'll talk to you
Spoiler
later.
alert. They're not. All right.
Throw a spoiler. That.
Spoiler alert. They're not.
Damn it. Ruined the end for me.
Let's cut it off. It's okay. Somebody listens to the end of it.